Who is Randy? Don't bring anyone mother into this. Yo, mom in the fucking stand!
Well, I'll tell you one thing about this guy, too. This guy right here, I don't think he can host the Oscars.
Can you believe that shit? Can you fucking even believe?
No.
How nonsense is all this? How much further is this going to go before somebody stops?
The hysteria keeps growing.
It is hysteria, by the way.
It is at a new level. If you don't know, I'd be surprised, but Kevin Hart was tapped to host the Oscars. Then they pulled up some 8 and 9 and maybe even 10-year-old tweets.
Yeah.
And they're like, these are homophobic, anti-gay. And it was things like, let me give you one of them. Is if I came home and found out my son was gay, I'd break a dollhouse over his head.
Hilarious.
And
right.
then they're like,
implying that it plays with dolls.
You're gonna violently attack your son.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What makes me the craziest about all this stuff, I mean, a lot of it does, is when people pretend, because they're pretending.
Yeah.
They pretend like they don't get what part of these statements are jokes. That's what makes me the craziest. Like, or what part of it, when they pretend to misinterpret it. You know, like they did it with Norm Macdonald when he did his interview where he was like, yeah, so I hooked up Roseanne with Louis because they're the only two people that have been through something like that. And they're like, what do you mean been through something like that? There's victims here. And it's like, yeah, but
not the media.
You understand what he was saying. You don't need an explanation. And you're purposely pretending to be outraged because that's a thing to do now.
Yeah.
And you have your target, but you know exactly what he meant. You know that he meant here are two people that lost everything in a day and probably only know what that feels like.
Of course. And you're right.
Not irrespective of the other
obviously.
Obviously.
Right.
And then with Kevin's thing, it's like, so him threatening to break a dollhouse over his young son's
call
head
child services
is because he found out he's gay. Like, it might be not be funny. It might be hacky. It might be like tasteless, or whatever. But you're gonna act like, hey, he's probably gonna really hurt his son because he's like that. That's so exhausting that I have to, because I know that even if you are outraged, that you know that that's a joke.
Yeah.
So now we're doing this improv in public together where I'm going to acknowledge that I understand your outrage now.
Right.
I understand what you mean, because he really shouldn't hurt his son for saying that he's going to be gay. That's
and
really
also Kevin has apologized already. That was his point. And secondly,
he's already addressed it.
It's the corporations who acknowledge these. First of all, if you talk to the average person on the street, I don't see anybody outraged. I don't think most people give a shit. It's these weird marginal groups, I guess, on the internet that are coming after these corporations, and then the corporations kowtow to this lunacy. So if whoever's hiring Kevin just goes, oh, really, you're upset? Too bad. Kevin Hart's our guy.
Yeah.
Instead of appeasing these dummies.
Well, that's why
it's ridiculous.
You really got to celebrate Kevin for not
doing
it.
Of course. And also, you know what's happening too, I think, is a lack of context. Like what you're saying is that people are taking things out of context. It's kind of the way we read tweets. You only read 100 and whatever characters, and completely out of context of space and time. It's like a comedians doing, anti-wife jokes or whatever the fuck in the 50s. You're going to hold all those guys responsible, or it's just silly.
I mean, exactly. Like 10 years is a big difference. It really is.
It is in this era.
For sure it is. For sure it is. I mean, when he made that tweet, again, it could be tasteless and not funny or kind of offensive, but it's a different time. It's before we had legalized gay marriage, So his tweet, okay, here's if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over and set his head and say in my voice, stop, that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then he caught his then 3-year-old son having a gay moment he was not proud of. You should nip it in the bud, he said, in a 2011 routine.
I remember that.
They're just waiting. They're just waiting for you to get certain opportunities.
Yes.
And then,
yes.
But here's the thing: you need somebody in Kevin Hart's position who literally doesn't need it. Like, there's sometimes when you're tapped to host something like that, where you're like, This kind of put me out front again. Like, doesn't need it. Doesn't need it for the attention.
Right.
Doesn't need it for the promotion. Doesn't need it for the money. Like, they're lucky to have him, you know? And
well
for you to be in that position and be like, I'm not going to do the apology thing, it's huge.
We need more comedians to be like, I'm not fucking apologizing. Fire me. Go get Hannah Gatsby to do whatever the fuck you want her to do. I'm not doing it.
He said, you know, it's come up before, which it has. He addressed it in a, I think it was a Rolling Stone interview a few years ago.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Well, we need to stop apologizing as comedians. And also, I'm not sure the apology gets you anything anymore. Because you'll apologize and then you're probably still going to get fired anyways.
Yeah.
So now apologizing, it serves no purpose. I think we should do what Donald Trump is great at doing, which he never apologizes. Yeah. And that's actually a really smart move. He doesn't. He's like, oh, fuck you. Well, look at him. He gets away with murder.
Yeah.
In the media, I'm saying, because he's like, no, fuck you. This is what I'm doing. And in a way, I respect that because it's like, okay, that's the tactic. Don't apologize. Because why are we rewarding these marginal idiots who aren't understanding things contextually? It's just silly. This is absurdity. What's happening?
It's totally crazy.
It's a fucking stupid witch hunt. It's a social justice warrior witch hunt.
I'm just happy
it's the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
Now he did, like, after he stepped down, he sent out an apology, like, hey, if I ever hurt anyone, I never meant to.
Of course.
But he did it on his terms after giving up the gig. He was like, I'm not going to do it on your terms.
But rest assured, there's no comedian. I've never met a comedian in the history of comedians whose intent is to hurt people's feelings. That's never the fucking intent.
No, I know.
That's not why anybody picks up a microphone and sacrifices everything in your life for a decade just to get paid a nominal amount of money to tell jokes to people, to hurt them. That's not why we do this, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Did you travel across the country and go into severe debt for a decade, miss birthdays, holidays, New Year's, everything, to make people pissed off? That's why you did comedy, right? To offend gay people, to God forbid. It's just the stupidest fucking thing in the world. I don't know why they're coming after comics. It bothers me.
I know, but I also like the gravity that people attach to the jokes too. Like when people are like, you know what,
it's fucking dumb.
We just
dummies.
We'll get back on track. We just need, you know, you gotta be like, I screwed up there. I don't think you do.
Here's what we're gonna put on the death list. Remember we had the person we're gonna execute who listened to videos loudly or make calls loudly.
Yeah. It's in my act. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a list of people I want to kill, and it's going to go, this is going to be the next. People who don't understand fucking jokes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that the culture has evolved to that point, you know, that everyone, because you know what it is also that's really annoying is that it's selective outrage. So if you're going to attack Kevin Hart for past tweets and things said, it's not fair that it's just about gay stuff. You got to get it. You got to get it all. Otherwise, you're not being fair. You're being biased.
Right.
I mean, hasn't he probably, I don't know, made fun of people, I don't know, different races,
women, little people.
Yeah, sure.
We all have. It's all in the catalog.
So, but why is this the only thing to be outraged by?
I don't know.
You got to be outraged by all of it.
There's so many great comedians that have made fun of all these things.
It's horrible.
All these things.
And that really is why podcasting is the most amazing thing, because you have no boss. Nobody can tell you anything.
No, and our audience gets it. I mean, it's clearly because we talk about the stuff, we make fun of everything, and they get it.
I really want to salute Kevin Hart for doing that. He's just like, I'm not playing the game.
No, that's stupid.
I'm not playing the game.
Good for him, yeah.